What's up, family? What's up, faithful? Welcome to 49ers Breakdown. My name is Aaron. Tonight, we're going to be getting into Trey Lance versus the Chargers in the preseason last year. Now, what's interesting is you might remember that Jimmy went on a 16-play drive and then threw a pick. Interestingly enough, the interception he threw was very similar to the interception we're going to see Trey throw in this game. I haven't watched all of Trey's film in this. He played from the second quarter, I believe, through the third quarter. We're going to find out because we're going to jump into this. But today, we're going to look at Trey Lance versus the Chargers. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. Tom Rathman, that like button, by golly. And, just for future, for now, if anybody's watching, click the link to join live. So there's a link in the comments. You'll see it looks like this. Hit that link. You'll be able to join. We could talk ball. We can break down the game together. And that's kind of what I like to do is break down film with the faithful. So if that interests you, please feel free to hit that join button on the StreamYard, and we'll do this together. But appreciate you checking in. Let's break down some Trey Lance versus the Chargers in the preseason last year. Why? Because I think it's important to see what he can do to get better, but also we didn't get to watch a lot of Trey Lance last year, right? So let's see what he does versus the Chargers. Going off of memory, I remember he was kind of running for his life. Niners played a lot of backup alignment in this game. So with that said, let's take a look at Trey Lance versus the Chargers. Welcome to 49ers Breakdown. It's good to have you here. And it's always good to talk 49ers football, right? Always good to talk 49ers football. So with that said, we're going to jump right in. This is Trey's first drive and first and 10 from the 29. Looks like a little split zone, some inside zone look here from the Niners. Niners come out in what looks to be 11 personnel, unless that's Juice. I believe it's Juwan Jennings. Little motion across, and then they bring that tight end back across for that split zone. There he is on the kick out. Little too much dancing for my liking from Hasty. Okay, he gets away with that in college. But you want to see more one cut and hit it. So he does a good job pressing the hole, right? And then once he cuts back, he's got to get. But he likes to do the little one too many jump steps. I think that's why we don't see him play that much, quite as often. So 2nd and 5, decent gain, actually fairly well blocked. Notice that we're seeing more of an odd front look from the Chargers. So this was a good look for the Niners because not a lot of teams run the odd. I mean, every team runs variations, but to play against a true nose is sometimes, we don't really see it that much in the NFC West, I should say. Arizona will sometimes do it, but typically, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Niners are all even front teams. So this was a good test. Also, teams that run the inside zone, they know it's difficult to run zone versus an odd front. It just kind of messes with the blocking scheme. So with that said, there we go. One second here, yeah. There we are. My fault. All right. Maybe. We'll see if this works. I'm going to have to get a new monitor. All right. So 2nd and 5 from the 34. 11 personnel again. Trip to the top of the screen off of motion. What do we got here? Little hitch route. Debo breaks a tackle. Nice gain. Now, how do you like that ball coming out? All right. So you'll see Trey, watch his feet here. Okay. 1, 2, hitch, back. Okay. So this is the quick game. When you're in gun in the quick game, it's basically a one hitch. Some people will call it a 2-step drop, but it's really a one hitch for a lot of teams in the quick game. But what you gotta like about it is it comes out quick. It comes out quick with a lot of velocity. You got Debo on an island here, but that island is 7 yards off. So instead of, oftentimes to the single receiver side, teams will run like a choice route. So when you got that much cushion here, just hitch it up underneath that, right? So Trey does a great job. One hitch, missile, okay? And Debo does the rest, breaks the tackle, first down, all right? So really nice ball getting out for his first throw. Could have been a little bit lower, okay? One thing that Trey sometimes does is he's a little spongy on that rear foot. What happens is his shoulders tilt back a little bit. And that's a good trajectory if you're trying to throw the ball down the field. But when you want to throw the ball on the line, you want those shoulders to be parallel, right, with the line of scrimmage. You're looking for somebody to be square and even. And so you'll notice when he throws his pick, we'll get into that. We'll take a look. But here on first down, okay, comes out, vacates the pocket, okay, and throws the ball away. So, nothing lost there. And that's what we like to see. Looks like the Niners are in 11 personnel. I think that's a fullback. It could be 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. We got the dual concept. He's under center here. And I believe that's a fullback and a tight end. So maybe 21 personnel. And, kind of the bunch receiver sets here. And just your typical 5-step drop. Now, they're getting good inside push. Trey doesn't feel comfortable stepping up into this pocket here. Okay, and they have a good job of kind of bracketing coverage. Okay, if anything, he wants to be able to check this down here. But unfortunately, he's got to vacate the pocket, right? He's got to vacate that pocket. So he does a good job of coming off schedule. Unfortunately, his lead guys going the opposite way. He probably had a choice. And so there's nobody to throw the ball to. So nothing lost there, though, right? Nothing lost. And that's kind of critical. Here it looks like the Niners are in 12 personnel again with 2 tight ends to the top of the screen here, 1 running back in the pistol formation on what they're calling 2nd and 10. So I don't know if there was a penalty on the last play or what happened. Oh yeah, we got a first down. My fault. So this is so just to double check. I apologize, y'all. So this was a first down play. Okay, and now we're going into 2nd and 10. My fault. I'm caught up. Niners motion across. Okay, they got 12 personnel, 2 tight ends to the top of the screen, which creates a nice almost 5 surface side there, right? So you got a 4 surface side plus the center because you got a 0 tech with the nose here. And so in pistol formation here, you're thinking run or play action. Niners do an outside zone here. Okay, so everybody's reach blocking. We have a double team on the 5 tech, double team on the edge. Okay, everybody's reach on the back side. And we should be able to press that and hit that up in there. Hasty does a good job kind of bouncing, okay, staying true to his track, but he kind of does 2 bounces. And you'll notice that sometimes the Niners want 1 cut and go. So Niners would like to see him hit that. After that cut, get up and hit that. Get your shoulder pads going north and south. Let's take another look and see exactly what Hasty does in real time here. This is outside zone to the top of the screen. This is advantageous for the Niners here. Okay, why is it advantageous? Because we can get a double here and a double here. So now we have doubles at the point of attack on outside zone. So outside zone versus an odd front can be very advantageous with the right personnel grouping. Inside zone is a little bit tough running sometimes versus odd teams unless you have a good center. So once again, we're going to run that back. Sometimes it jumps forward on me. Let's watch Hasty's path here. Okay, we want to see him press the hole and look for bounce or cutback. So he presses, bounces, but see that second bounce that took him outside? He's trying to juke too much scat. He's got to learn to get underneath his shoulder pads and run. We want to see him get vertical after that first cut. So he does that bounce, and now we want to see him get vertical up in that hole. But there's too much dance in there. It's only a 2-yard gain. He could have got a 4-yard gain by squaring his shoulders and hitting that hole, right? All right, so with that said, Niners were in dual formation, 11 personnel. They motioned a trio to the bottom of the screen. and a little bit of an exotic look from the defense here. Look like they're in quarters coverage. Um, Now it looks like they're kind of rocking down to a Wednesday cover three. Okay, Trey's dropping back, and this one just off the hands of Debo Samuel. Okay, so that one's off the hands of Debo. It was behind him though. So I just remember Jerry Rice always saying, if it's touchable, it's catchable, right? If it's touchable, it's catchable. That's what I remember. I remember Jerry Rice saying, if it's touchable, it's catchable. But nonetheless, um, nonetheless, Trey just kind of sails this ball. Now let's look why. Let's look at why. Oftentimes, they'll have a little bit of a spongy back foot. Quarterbacks have to have a firm platform. Now, when you see him, see how when he sets back there, see how spongy that is? What happens is his shoulders start to tilt up, right? And when he steps forward, the front leg tends to lock. Okay. So unfortunately, because he has that spongy back foot, he goes from leaning back to leaning forward, and it creates kind of a teeter-totter effect. Unfortunately, the ball sails. Okay. So what we want to see is him play with more square shoulders. Right. Now, this trajectory or this platform where his feet are, if it's too spongy on, see how he gets spongy on that back foot? If his shoulders start to lean up like that, right? That back shoulder starts to dip. Well, if he was throwing a deep ball down the field, if he's throwing an arcing ball, that's perfect. You want that spongy back foot. But if you're looking to throw a laser on a dig and keep the ball down, then you want to have a more firm back foot, right? And stay up over the top. Instead of being back looking for that trajectory, you want to be firm, right? And come square to your target. So what we see here is he makes the right read, the ball's on time, but see how it's up high and behind him? Okay. Now, like I said, if it's touchable, it's catchable. But nonetheless, Trey misses that one. And he misses it because of his feet, not because of his head, not because of his arm strength, not because of his timing. It's literally because of that spongy back foot. I've seen this time and time again. It's a platform thing. So see how he rocks there? Okay, and what happens is that front foot becomes locked. See how it's kind of lock jointed? And then what happens is he's kind of rocking over to try to square those shoulders down. And what happens is he's not able to aim that ball or get it on point. I don't have a problem with it being where it was, because oftentimes when you're throwing the ball over the middle of the field, the backside hip is a good place to put it. Bill Walsh used to say, that's where I want the balls, on the backside hip, because corners and defensive backs are taught to play top shoulder so they can bat stuff down that comes in front, right? When you're running a square in like this or a dig, the ball is fine, but it sails. The problem is it sails, okay? And the reason is because that spongy back foot. So let's watch this in full time, or excuse me, in real time. 11 personnel, exotic, coverage picked, or blitz picked up, reads the coverage. Okay, they have a robber coming down in that cover three. So this guy's going to come down and play the hole. He's playing the post. Okay. And I mean, it's a really nice read. The ball's out at the proper time and everything, but that spongy back foot is what the problem is. That spongy back foot is the issue. So let's go back and look at this one more time, because this is key to understanding Trey's deficiency. Let's look at this one more time. All right, so dual to trio, 11 personnel. They're in an split odd front where they got their wide ends there. They come up in an exotic. They're bringing pressure at the snap. The line picks it up. Now watch Trey's back foot. Boom, right there. Okay, so let's buzz it back just a little bit. And now you can see he's square here, but what happens? See how he sponges back? Now, when he's in this trajectory, his shoulders aren't where they need to be. They're leaning too much, right? So what happens if you want the ball to go on arching downfield, this is the type of platform you're looking to throw from. When you're trying to drive a ball on a dig, you got to be firm on that back foot and come over the shoulder. He's leaning back a little bit, and he has to what he's going to do is he's going to try to overcome that with arm velocity. He's going to try to overcome that with arm velocity. And unfortunately, the ball just sails. The Sales and it's behind him because of it. So this is where Brian Greasy comes into play. This is where Brian Greasy can really drill Trey on the fundamentals. See how he steps back there? Okay. And because he's stepping back, he overstrides and the front leg locks. Okay. And the ball sails and it's behind. That's simple though. I'm telling you, with just consistent drilling, it's simple because he's going to realize before he even gets into the play, okay, stiff back leg, shoulders down, drill this ball. He's going to understand different platforms. Whereas right now, I don't think he truly does understand the different platforms as much as, well, at least last year, early in the year. But that was the right read. Unfortunately, bad throw. And it forces the Niners to punt. So let's look right now at their next possession. Let's go to the next possession here. Let's see if we can get it to go here. And all right. So 1st and 10 from the 14. And it looks like the Niners are coming out in 11 personnel. And more of an even front here. Okay. Wide ends here. Super wide 9 look right there. 9 techniques is why they call it wide 9. Both tackles in a 2. This guy looks like he might be in a shade, but that's not, to me, that's not a 3 tech. So this is more of like a 4-4, 4-2-5 look, right? And looks like combo coverage. Let's run it back. First down play. Let's run that back one time. Niners are running inside zone. Decent job cutting back. Like to see a little bit more burst in the hole. But Gallman, man, he would have been nice to have last year, quite frankly. He would have been nice to have. But nonetheless, we get 2nd and 4. Okay. 2nd and 4. Niners are running, got Trey to the top of the string. I call it Trey because the Y is in there. So you see a 3 receiver set with a tight end, 11 personnel. And once again, this time they're running outside zone. And the running back makes the right cut, but gets tripped up. He presses the hole. The Niners played a lot of backup linemen in this game. So it was not surprising that the run game was a little bit deficient. So we'll see him press the hole. He does a good job, but he gets caught up. That tackle gets his arm free, and he gets caught up. So we need to do a better job there. I think that was Aaron Banks at maintaining his block. 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Looks like they're going to run a drive concept. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, we got 11 personnel. Looks like a Y in the slot here. And wide 9 from the defense on 3rd and 4. And they're bringing a weak side blitz here. So 5 are coming, which puts them in cover 1 on the back end. And, oh, wow. So here's another pass that sails on Trey. Why does it sail? Okay, this is key to understand. This is the same reason what we saw last time. Watch his back foot. Spongy. See how his shoulders are down in the back? It's kind of hard to tell, right? But what you're not seeing this shoulder down and that shoulder up. You're seeing this shoulder up and that shoulder down. So his back shoulder, he wants to be more firm, right? Because he's trying to drive this ball over the middle. But what happens is when you have too spongy of a back leg, what happens is your back shoulder dips, your front shoulder comes up, and now you're going to try to muscle that ball in there. And because of that, it sails on him off. But look, unfortunately, that's right off the hands of Sanu. So this is a catchable ball, and then it gets picked off. Now, we've seen 2 digs and unfortunately 2 misplaced balls. These balls aren't horribly thrown. What's interesting is that Jimmy threw a pick on the same route in his first drive. He had a 16-play drive, and you guys remember he overshot Brandon Ayuk and threw a pick. Same thing. Okay. So when Trey gets to his back foot here, what you want to see is him, instead of overstriding the front foot, we want to see him stiff on that back foot, be able to drive the ball down. And the reason is because you can tell from this play concept, he's not looking. This is a drive. That's what this play concept is called. It's called drive. And so what you'll see here is the two outside guys. Okay, you're going to see these guys take the verticals. Then you have a shallow cross and you have a dig route over that as well. That's the drive concept. Okay, he makes the right read. The ball's on time, but it's high. Why is it high? Because of his spongy back foot, which makes his shoulder go down in the back. And then he's got to try to muscle it over the top. Ball sails. So if he has a firm foot on the back, now he can drive that pass. And that pass comes more on an arrow. Okay, more on a line. And that's just something simple that Brian Greasy, I believe, will be able to correct because it comes with repetition of your dropbacks and understanding where you're probably going to likely want to go with the pass. Drive concepts, you're going to know pre-snap typically if you're going to throw one of the outside shots. And if you don't throw one of the outside shots, then you're probably going to throw the shallow cross or the dig. And so by just understanding your pre-snap recognition, you're going to want to make sure you have that stiff back leg that enables you to drive that ball, right? And what's up, Niner by Nature? Good to see you, fam. You can hit that StreamYard button if you want to come in, bro, and just use the audio if you'd like, whatever. But I just appreciate you being here, bro. I'm breaking down the Chargers versus Niners. This play right here, this is where Lance throws his pick. In his previous drive, he missed on a dig as well. And I'm explaining the reason why, brother, and you're going to be able to see it right here. So this is a drive concept. They're going to have a shallow cross, and then they're going to have a dig, and then two outside takeoffs. But watch Trey's back leg. See how it's spongy right there? The back leg is spongy. Okay, so what that does is it dips the back shoulder down, front shoulders up. So he's like this. Now, a spongy back leg, brother, a spongy back leg is great when we want to throw the ball up and over the top on a deep ball. But when we're trying to drive the ball, we need to have a stiff back leg, right? And we want our front shoulder more down. Really, idealistically, we want to be straight and square and parallel with the ground. But if we have a stiff back leg, that enables us to come over. But Trey's got the spongy back leg, so he's more like this, which causes him to overstride. His platform comes off, and now he's trying to muscle the ball in there. Bro, never, bro. I'm just happy you're stopping by, bro. I know. I wish our time zones were more closely alike as well, man. Be able to get you on. But if there's some time that works for you, bro, we'll make it work. We'll make it work and get you on. But you can see right here, he's got the spongy back leg. He's got the back shoulder dipped, and he's overstriding with the front foot. And so what does this make him do? Muscle the ball. So when he's got the spongy back leg, the overstride with the front foot, the shoulder dipped in the back, the front shoulder up, right? Now he's got to try to muscle that ball to come over. If he keeps that back foot more stiff, now he can come down on that and drive that ball in there. So he makes the right read. He throws it on time. But because of his platform, okay, this ball is just off a little bit. And because it's off a little bit, Sanu doesn't catch it. And right there, see, so this ball is high, right? It's high, it's sailing. And the reason it's sailing is because of that spongy back foot. Man, so this platform stuff, this is where Brian Greasy comes in because Brian Greasy is an overachiever, right? Brian Greasy won by knowing the fundamentals. It wasn't talent. Brian Greasy was effective, was a good quarterback, a good quarterback because he was a fundamental machine. So he's going to be able to recognize this and work on Trey's platform. Let him understand the pre-snap recognition. Clarence, brother, man, good to see you. Thank you so much, man. Go Niners. And so with that said, we just want to, again, it's a drive concept. You have a shallow cross, you got to dig over the top and two outsides. Well, you're going to know the outsides. You're going to know the outsides pre-snap typically, right? And so you're looking at one of these, either the shallow or the dig. So either one of those, I got to be stiff on my back foot to drive that ball down. It's a simple fix, you guys. He's got the timing, the recognition, the arm strength, the talent, everything's there. It's just simple. Basically, he's setting up his platform like he would on a deep ball, right? You can't do that. You're not going to muscle the ball in the NFL. Timing, the little things make the biggest difference. Now, that's a catchable ball. Right? That's a catchable ball. Jerry Rice used to say, if it's touchable, it's catchable, right? So we could sit here and really bag on Trey, and he's got to throw a better ball. He does. But, I mean, that bounced off of Sanu's hands and went to a pick. Trey picks up things really quick. He was working on his mechanics all off. Exactly, bro. And he's probably already got this corrected, I would imagine. But Greasy's going to reinforce it, bro. I can just see Greasy really stressing the fundamentals, so much so that Lance doesn't even understand why, right? But it has just a tremendously positive effect on his overall play. They're going to be working his drops constantly. Get his 3-step, his 1-step hitch for the quick game out of gun, his 5-step, his 7-step, his rolls, everything. And it's all going to be about his feet because he's got the arm strength. He's got the talent. He's got the vision. Yeah, he does a little bit of double clutch and a little bit of pat. And some of that comes from inconsistency of, am I really seeing what I'm seeing? Am I really seeing what I'm seeing? Right. And so he does a great job here. Again, drive concept. Okay. Now, right here, though, he gets that spongy back foot. See that? You get that spongy back foot, a little bit of nerves in there. And I can just see it right here. If he's going to throw the ball to this guy going deep down the field, that's a great platform. But if he's trying to drive the ball over the middle of the field, he's got to have a stiffer back leg to come over the top and drive that ball. Instead, he's got the spongy back leg, and he has to muscle it with his arm. And because of that, the ball sails high off the hands. That ball's where you want it. You just got to put it on his body, right? It's got to be down a couple feet. Now, if he's got that stiff back leg, then he's able to do that. I think his feet will settle down. I think his double clutching comes from his hitching, from his it's just a nerve thing, really. I mean, it's almost unthinkable. It's unspeakable. It comes with a level of comfort. Okay. And I think, it's just reps. It's just reps. You'll see sometimes quarterbacks will pat the ball. He's kind of hitching with his whole body right now. And I think with time and with reps, he's going to be able to fix that. No question. So we got a punt. We got an interception. And then let's check out this next drive and see what we get here. Let's see this next drive here. If we can, maybe. Come on, somebody. All right. Okay, here we go. We're on. We on live. We're going live. Trey comes out slinging, throws that one behind his man. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. 1st and 10. And that's a tough one. I gotta get in the monitor. So there's to it. All right. So let's go back to first down here. 1st and 10. Okay. Looks like the Niners are in 12 personnel, but they motion their running back out. I like how Kyle does that, right? Kyle will come at you with some, Niner by nature. What's up, fam? Oh, bro, I tried to add you as soon as you left. Oh, man. Niner by nature, come back in, bro. Come back in, fam. Where you at? I seen you down there. I tried to add you. As soon as I added you, you were out, bro. So if Niner by nature, if you're there, bro, please come back. We'll get you live, bro. There you are.
Yeah, kick me off. How you doing, fam?
What's up, man? Good to hear your voice, bro.
Oh, yeah, all good, man.
You're like the King Niner fan. And it's good stuff, man. I appreciate you stopping by, man. It's cool how you don't have to cam up, bro. You can just jump on and give your thoughts and whatnot. And
most definitely.
I appreciate it. We can do this whenever you want, man. I appreciate it. Look at you got the all hail the king. Let's go.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that, man. Because I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I don't know how I'm gonna use it, but I'm gonna use it some way, somehow, man. I appreciate that, bro.
For sure, brother.
But I have a question for you though, man.
Yes.
So do you feel that earlier in the preseason that he was struggling seeing the defense? As in more so of he wasn't sure what he was seeing. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest. He played at a D1, D1 AA.
Right.
The defenses that he's seen wasn't as complex that he was seeing the defenses in the NFL. So do you think he wasn't quite as ready for it as he was, in the Arizona game and then the Houston game? Right. And how did what really because for me, I watched that game. I'm like, man, why is he double clutching? Like, why does he keep on? You know what I'm saying? He will. It's like the ball. It's like he'll go through the ball, but he'll clutch. You know what I mean? So is that because he's not sure of what he is seeing?
Yeah,
I ain't see that. I ain't see that in the Arizona game or in the Houston game.
Right. No, I think there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of what you're saying is true. I think it's a multitude of things, right? First of all, in the preseason, new playbook, NFL, you got a different speed level. The speed is just different. And so when he's out there in game time, you're not getting a lot of first team reps in camp. It's all new. And so it comes a little quicker in the game. The other thing is that even though it's preseason, specifically here with the Chargers, they play an odd front a lot of times. They'll come out in evens, but they mix it up. Their head coach is a former defense coordinator, and he's known for mixing it up and playing a lot of different schemes. So I think Trey's questioning a little bit. Exactly. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? But even with that said, brother, I think he really does a good job of identifying where the ball needs to go. Unfortunately, his fundamentals start to fall apart just a little bit, right? Where in college, he could get away with just muscling things in there. Well, now he's got to have the proper fundamentals and still be able to, get the ball there on time. So I think it comes with repetition, and I think that comfort level comes. But, you remember from watching the Houston game, the Niners were losing at halftime. And it's not that he made a ton of mistakes in the first half, but defenses in the NFL, it's like you prepare for one thing and you come out and they give you an entirely different look, right? And that's just how it goes, right? And, that Houston team beat Arizona, I think the week before or 2 weeks before. It was a team that competed well and they played pretty good defense. And so, I honestly think that while he does do a little bit of jitter, a little bit of double clutch, you'll see a lot of quarterbacks patting the ball. And I think more than anything, he just needs reps to get comfortable. But what we saw on that pick, brother, is such a simple little thing. It's almost like, such an easy thing because he's throwing to the right guy. It's just his mechanics are a little off. So
now, would you say his mechanics has got something to do with his arm motion or more of his feet, his footwork?
His feet. It's definitely his foot. Yeah, it's
that's what I see too.
Yeah, his back foot. Typically when balls sail, it's a spongy back foot that leads to a dipped back shoulder, and that's the trajectory. That's the platform you want if you're throwing a deep ball down the field. But when you're throwing, lasers over the middle of the field on a dig, you got to be able to come over the top. Instead of that back shoulder being like that, it's got to be more like that, right? And so when he has that spongy back foot, then what happens is he tries to overstride to overcompensate. And now he's going to try to muscle it because the front leg locks when you do that. So, I mean, Jimmy did a good job of standing really upright, and just that missile that he came over the top with, he would hit the ball over the middle of the field really nice. We look back, we always see that highlight of Jimmy splitting those defenders, Debo catching the ball and running for a touchdown against the Rams on that dig. And it's a constant, highlight we see. And that's because, he wasn't athletic enough to get too deep into a drop and worry about running. But Trey's got this athletic, he's half the time he's like, should I run? And so I think just with a little bit more repetition, understanding of the system, it'll be fine. What's interesting though, brother, is that Jimmy comes out and has a 16-play drive and then sails the ball over Brandon Ayuk and throws a pick in the same game. It's the same problem, right?
Right.
So I mean, we're really nitpicking on Trey. I've been pointing out in a lot of chats, that look, Peyton Manning had 28 interceptions his rookie year, bro.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
28 picks.
That's crazy. That's
Other
crazy.
than
I
he's
didn't
one of
even
the
know that.
greatest quarterbacks ever, you know?
Yeah, he got a gold jacket, and then people like to talk about Trey's wobbly balls. It's like, come on, man. These are professional athletes, professional receivers. They need to
Right.
catch those wobbly balls, and then at the
Yeah.
same time, Peyton Manning, who has a gold jacket through a wobbly ball. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All his career. So I mean, at the same time, I think that Trey is, he's so young. But the thing is about him being young, his brain is like a sponge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gonna soak everything in,
Right.
and he's even all this hate that he's getting in all this offseason. I mean, come on, I don't care what nobody say. This man, this young man is a human being, and I'm pretty
Right.
sure he's hearing all this hate and all this commotion about him not being ready, and the 49ers going to be 8-9 or 7-10,
Right.
and we're not going to make the playoffs, and Jimmy G
Yeah.
is going to start, and all this other stuff. I'm pretty sure. I just hope that he has a mindset to turn all that negativity into a fuel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
he can come out here and do what he have to do. Because at the end of the day, man, I have 100% trust that Trey Lance will be the king of the NFC. Man, shoot, even the NFL at
Let's go
that. You
NFL,
know what I
man. That's what
mean?
I put. Yeah, that's what I want you to change that C to an L, fan, because
Oh yeah, most definitely.
um, I agree with you though, and I think to your point, he was overlooked coming out of high school, and he
Mm-hmm.
had to go to North Dakota State. It's like it's not like he went to a Division I program with all these offers, and he was overlooked. They wanted him to play DB.
Facts.
So I think it's in his pedigree. He's got a strong family, his mom and dad, his brother. I mean, he has a strong family core. Um, I think that from everything I see, just by reading his character, his personality, um, he doesn't lack confidence, but he's humble. He has a
Mm-hmm.
great balance. Um, and I think we see that play out in his game as well. I mean, when we go back and we look at that game plan versus Arizona, Kyle's
Mm-hmm.
just like, Trey, go win this game for us. Right?
Facts.
I mean, it's just like, bro, you're going to run this guy 15 plus times. And he's going to be your leading rusher. And he's going to, I mean, and that game was winnable. That game was very winnable against an undefeated team at Arizona.
Right.
I mean, this
Absolutely.
is crazy. I mean, he was that far away from being in the end zone, which would have made it an overtime game.
That's
You know,
that's that's crazy. That's crazy.
yeah,
You bring up a good point because I really see that Kyle Shanahan using Trey more like the Houston game. You know,
right.
I don't think he's gonna run him as much, but he will run. He will do the read option out of the shotgun set. The pistol to keep the edge rusher honest because once you do the read option, you're holding that edge. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If the edge
yeah,
crash, you take it. You take over that. You take over that edge. And we
yep,
know we know Trey got the speed to take that edge. Now I want to ask
yeah.
you this, man. I was listening to one of the podcasts. I think it was Middlecoff, Ham.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
No, talking about
Yeah, like Haberman and Middlecoff or whatever, those guys.
yeah, those
Yeah,
guys.
they do a good job.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So I was listening to them, and I did not agree with what I forget his name, man. I think it's Middlecoff, probably the one with no hair. But
Okay.
I disagree with what he said. I think this was like an old video. He when people was comparing Trey Lance to Josh Allen and so the basically the subject came back up and he was like, no, Trey is nothing like Josh Allen, which I agree. He was like Josh Allen's way faster. I'm thinking like I don't think Josh Allen's faster. It's just that Trey seemed like he was playing more hesitant. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't really putting his foot in the ground, trying to take off or hit them cuts. Because I know Trey is fast. I mean, it is reported that he ran a 4.5, and
Right.
I think Allen ran a 4.7. Gain speed. It seemed like he was more shocked by how kind of like what you were saying. He was more shocked by how the speed was. Like
Right.
everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the NFL is fast, man. DNs running 4.5s, you got
Right.
DBs running 4.3s. I think
Yeah.
he was more surprised by that. But it kind of pissed me off though, because excuse my language, but
Oh, you go.
it kind of made me upset because I left a message. I was like, how is the 40 times says this, and then he had mentioned, he was like, well, I don't care because it's in pads. In pads, Josh Allen look faster. And I'm like, man, I don't see it. But I was like, okay, in pads, I had looked at a report and to see how fast, Josh Allen was running in pads per the GPS system, right? And it didn't come close to Trey's. Trey's was like at 21
That's moving.
21 miles per hour, 54.
That's moving,
like
bro.
that. He's moving.
Yeah, that's Matt Breida.
That's a big body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that this year Trey is gonna show up a lot of people regarding to they hating on him regarding to, like, he ain't fast, he looks slow, he can't throw. Even that one guy, what's his name, Daniel Kelly, was talking about Trey's a bus and this, and Jimmy Garoppolo gonna start this year. Watch week one. I was like, oh my god. And he turns off the comment section too, so you can't comment.
Yeah, I saw that. I checked him out. I checked him out real briefly, like, because he said, and people say he's a former NFL scout or whatever.
Right.
I don't know about that, bro.
Me neither.
I don't know, bro.
Me neither.
I don't know how many NFL scouts got, like, got the lips on their neck tattooed. You know what I'm saying? Not to judge his tattoos or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, that doesn't seem like. But he tries to talk, like he's intellectual, he's a high football IQ or whatever. But for him to say that he graded Brock Purdy, better than Trey Lance is just, I mean, Brock Purdy would grade well, but the intangibles aren't there. He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the ceiling that Trey Lance has. Yeah, he's a good leader. He played good football in college, but he's just not the talent. And I like Brock Purdy as a backup quarterback. Let's go. I don't have a problem with that at all. But, I think a lot of times people just say things, man, because, any publicity is good publicity, and negative publicity gets you the clicks, right? People want clicks, man. And so, I mean, I try my best to avoid all that because I just, I want to try to, shine the light, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I try to keep it a buck because, I'd be forced to sit here and say that Trey doesn't have any deficiencies. And my hope, though, brother, my hope is that, and, I know we've talked about this a little bit, but my hope is that the Niners will ultimately view and use Trey like Russell Wilson in his, best years, or Donovan McNabb in his best years, where he can scramble and get away and torture defenses on third down when they're trying to play cover 2 man. And you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
And so that's kind of the idea is, like, that's how we prolong his career. I was surprised, bro, at how much Kyle ran him. I was thinking to myself, man, don't you remember what happened to RG3, bro? Like, absolutely. I mean, like, for him to run him as much as he did, I was really surprised because before Kyle, got Trey, he had talked about, the advantages and disadvantages of having running quarterbacks. And one thing he said was, like, they can get injured. You have to change your offense. I was thinking, okay, well, we even look back at guys like Steve Young. Steve Young was a guy that ran the system, and when plays broke down, he was gone, bro. And he was tough. Like, he was like the original Russell Wilson. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so we need to, like, trust Trey, and Trey's got to get 1,000 reps in, mini camp and training camp of making all the throws. I think last year, man, he got to run Kyler's offense twice. He got to run Russell Wilson's offense twice as the scout team quarterback, right? And see how teams are attacking the Niners defense. And so for him to be able to go through those playbooks, sit back and then watch those teams effectively work against the Niners, watch Jimmy prepare, go through a playoff run, because he's young, man. He's younger than, Pickett was the first quarterback taken, and he's a year older than Trey. right?
Wow.
Yeah. So isn't that a trip? So I
That's a
mean,
trip.
and so he last year was like his redshirt year, but yet he still got to play. He
Mhm.
got 2 starts, and he basically should have been 2-0, bro. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
facts, bro. I
he's
was so
that far
mad
away
that
from being in
game.
overtime, right?
I was
And
so mad.
and then the other thing is, brother, I mean, if people want to take a true measuring stick to Trey versus Jimmy, all you gotta do is go to the Seattle game, because both of
Mhm.
them played a half versus Seattle. Jimmy played the entire first half. Trey played the entire second half. Well, guess what? Trey had better numbers and he scored more points than Jimmy in that game, and he did it without preparing all week. He wasn't
What?
even right. He wasn't the number one, getting all the number one reps. So
What was his stats on that? You can pull it
yeah, we
up?
can look at it, but he threw. Let's go. We'll jump at it right now. Let's see. I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, just real quick because I have two more questions. Well, I actually have three more questions to ask you, and then
Yeah,
I'll let you get back to the breakdown. But my first question is, um, do you think if Kyle Shanahan stopped running Trey, such as the read options or the QB sneaks or the QBG power or whatever,
right.
do you think if he stopped doing that, do you think that we kind of lose an element in our offense? Because I think that if we do that, it add another element, it add a dangerous factor. You know what I mean? Because you gotta look out for Trey running the ball too. You know what I mean? So it's
100%. Yeah.
so if I mean, yeah, the defense have to take into account that when Trey drop back, he can run the ball, but at the same time, what if he doing a read option? Like, like, okay,
Yeah.
if he does a read option, that holds the linebackers and holds the edge. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just that split second for TDP or Elijah to hit the hole. You know what I mean? Or
Right. Yeah.
if they do, they do crash down on TDP or Elijah. Trey can hit the edge. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And run out of
Yeah.
bounds for like 9 or 10, 11 yards. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
do you feel that we should continue to run him in that sense, or should we just not run him at all?
Yeah. So I do think we should. But looking at last year,
Uh,
in that Arizona game, they ran him 15 times.
that's too much.
And
That's
that's
too
too
much.
much, bro. I want to see between 5 and 10.
I like
Uh,
that.
in RG3's rookie year, he had over 3,000 yards passing, 800 yards rushing. Um, I believe he had almost 30 touchdowns. Might have had just over 30 touchdowns, but only 5 interceptions. It was a phenomenal year. Rookie of the
Mm,
year. It was just a fantastic year for RG3. Took his team to the playoffs in a tough NFC. And he averaged about 8 carries a game. And I think that's the sweet spot, although I'd like it to be a little bit closer to 5.
right.
The thing is when you have a guy like Trey in there, you already have the threat.
Mm.
You already have the threat. It's not like you gotta, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's like a banging girl, bro. This is a horrible analogy. It's a horrible analogy, but she ain't got to put on a bikini for us to know she's banging. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she could dress modestly. She could have on clothes covering up everything, and we know she's banging. And so
Absolutely.
it's like Trey's back there, and it's like, oh, we gotta watch out for this dude because he can run. And so
Hmm.
it's not like Kyle has to go out there and flaunt his Ferrari and risk running it into the wall. Yeah, everybody knows he's got a Ferrari back there. And,
Mm.
and that's the key, I think, the balance point. And that's what I'm trying to get out is, like, I'm hoping that he will have the patience with Trey to be able to let him get into a sweet spot, lean on the defense early on in the year, lean on defense, special teams, your running game, because Trey's excellent out of play action, does a great job with play fakes.
Hmm.
Um, Quick game, right? And
Absolutely.
then if you need some digs, if you need some of the deeper stuff, well, fine. If you need that, you could start to go to that. But I think it comes down to preparation, game planning, and then how you're going to run them and use them.
Mm.
I just looked to Seattle in 2013. Russell was always a threat to run, but he didn't
Hmm.
have to. He didn't have to because everybody was concerned about their Marshawn. Everybody's concerned about stopping that running game. They held a guy out there so that, on the read options, 9 times out of 10, Russell would just hand it off. And then it made Marshawn really tough to defend. So I think that, that the Niners do a great job with the running game, probably the best in the league, right? And with that said, like, lean on that. And then when you go to run, Trey, it's big surprise and it's trouble for a defense, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be tempted to do it all the time with Kyler Murray too, bro. He's like Barry Sanders, right? This guy can flat run. Kyler Murray can get it. He's shifty. But I think Kingsbury does a good job of protecting him. Well, the thing about Kyler is he has a difficult time in the pocket, whereas Trey can stand up in that pocket. And I think, it gets his platform straight, stops having that spongy back foot, starts to drive the ball a little bit more on those, over routes and dig routes. He's going to be just fine. So I think that sweet spot, bro, is between 5 and 10. I don't want to see him run the ball 15 times a game like he did against Arizona.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Okay, now my second question is regarding to his red shirt year, but it's also regarding to the NDSU. So how his freshman freshman year at North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
I remember his coach was saying. I think I remember an interview that his coach was saying that they sit all their first year players, right? Doesn't matter how good they are. They're just gonna sit that year and they're gonna play. They're gonna come back the very next year as a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
Now, looking at it, it seemed like Trey played two to maybe I think he played a half a game. He basically played 2.5 games at NDSU his redshirt freshman year, and then after that, the very next year he took over and he just dominated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
didn't lose, right?
So do you feel that Shanahan is doing the same thing because he let him play 2.5 games, half the quarter of the Seahawks? He played a full game of the Cardinals and a full game of Houston. After that, he set the whole time.
Sure.
So does that mean that? I mean, do you feel that Kyle Shanahan Kyle Shanahan was picking up what the NDSU coaches were putting down for trade development?
I think it makes a lot of sense when you got a young guy coming in to develop them, right? Mm-hmm. And Kyle's smart enough to know that the NFL is a different game. I mean, with the amount of games the Niners played last year, that's almost twice as long as a college football season, right?
Oh yeah.
And so when you play that many games with the speed level difference, with the playbook being 3 times the thickness, there's a lot to learn. And with Trey's youth, and of course he had that year off because of COVID, so he did really well as a sophomore, but then had a year off, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, truly only 1 year of college football at FCS. He's not even playing Division I. I think the best thing they could do for Trey was to have him sit. Basically, it's like this: if you got a vet on your team, and your rookie comes in and they're anywhere close to being even, then you go with the vet and you let the rookie learn, right?
Right.
And the Niners were paying Jimmy a lot of money. He had leadership. They knew that he could, perform at a level to where Trey could learn. So I think, we look at Aaron Rodgers. He learned, bro. It took him a few years before he got to be on the field. You look at Tom Brady. He sat and learned from Drew Brees for a year, right? Or excuse me, Drew Bledsoe. So with, 2 of the best guys in the game right now, whether it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, they both sat. Look at Patrick Mahomes, bro. These are top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. Well, besides, the kid from Buffalo, right? Josh Allen.
Oh, Josh Allen's a monster.
But I mean, those 3 quarterbacks all sat their rookie year. And that just proved dividends, bro. So big. So again, like I said, I do think that Kyle was like, this is my baby, and I ain't gonna throw him out there to the dogs unless I absolutely have to. And he did have to in a couple instances. And so, I think Trey hurt his finger in preseason, where wouldn't even enable him to start that first game anyways. And so that was kind of swept under the rug. And then he hurt his knee versus Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kept him out for a little bit. And so ultimately there were a few nicks in the, nicks in the armor that kind of kept him out anyways. What's up, Rich? How you doing, Kelch Chronicles? What's up, brother? Thank you so much for being here, brother. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
And so, yeah, I see your point there. That's a good call. I definitely think he wanted to sit back, develop. Jimmy learned from the GOAT, right? He learned from Tom Brady. So
oh
the
yeah,
way he prepares is, very similar to Tom. And to be able to watch that and go through an entire year and develop and grow. They say, I remember Jim Harbaugh used to say it all the time. The biggest jump a player can have is between their rookie year and their second year in the pros. And so I think that was the plan all along. That if it's anywhere close, we'll go with the vet, and then let the rookie develop over time.
develop facts. Oh,
Here's the
this is.
this is the stats, bro, against the Seahawks.
Oh my goodness.
They each had a half. They
Oh
each
my
had a half.
goodness.
Jimmy had the first half. Trey had the second half. Right. But here's the key thing to remember. Trey didn't get to prepare with the first team all week. Jimmy got all the first team reps.
Oh
Trey
my
was
goodness.
running, Seattle's offense. But
That's
you look
crazy.
at this, bro. He's got
Look at the passing percentage though, compared to the two. Because I think Trey would do 50%.
right.
And what did Jimmy throw?
Well,
40. What's that?
it's actually a little bit better. Where that's 50%. So 28. If he was 14 to 28, that'd have been 50%.
That being 50.
But here's the thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Ding,
Yeah,
ding,
right.
ding, ding. He's got the pick. Trey didn't throw a pick. Trey had 2 touchdowns. And he had just about the same amount of yardage. I mean, it's only an 8-yard difference, right?
Right.
So you have just about the same amount of yardage, no picks for Trey. And guess what? Oh, I gave you 41 yards rushing also. Let me add that in there. And all of a sudden, my numbers are surpassed yours. And by the way, I averaged 6 yards a trot.
Woo.
Right?
6 yards. Woo.
Yeah. So, when you look, and Jimmy's not even on this line, right?
Oh, no.
There's no hope there. So I think that, yeah, exactly. And Jimmy been with the team for 4 years. He knows the offense. He knows the offense like the back of his hand at this point, where Trey, of course, is still learning it. It's the West Coast offense is very, very sophisticated. All the different formations, motions, personnels, checks, etc. You're talking about a very, very thick playbook. And, to be able to understand that right off the bat is impossible. Doesn't matter what system you come from, because language changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so once you learn that foreign language, once you have it down pat like Jimmy, well, that's where Trey's coming into this year. Now he knows the system. Now he knows the offense. He knows what every motion is. He doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to think about the checks, the different calls, or remembering the play call. Did I get that play call out right? Because it's, red right over chuck, zebra, 5X, check under. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
It's like, it's literally that long. And so he's got to be able to, decipher that, understand that, and all that takes time. All that takes a lot of time. So yeah.
that brings me to my last question, Aaron. And thank you, man. Thank you for this moment of blessing, bro, to bring me on, man.
Oh, thank you, brother, for sure. Anytime, man.
But my last question, and that actually led into it because Rich just said it. So now, even though Jimmy G had 4 years into the playbook, into the system or whatnot. But I remember Kyle Shanahan stating that Trey Lance knew or understood the playbook in 3 weeks. So what is the difference between knowing and understanding the playbook to execution of the playbook? Like, what's the difference between those two? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the key thing is, it's one thing to know it. It's another thing to have it completely memorized and be able to teach it. Right. And just from coaching, over the years, the best teams I've ever coached, my best players are coaching. They're coaching the other players. They know the system so well. They know how to be a leader. They know what we expect, and they're coaching the other players. And when Trey is still learning, he doesn't have that fluidity. Like, he's learning from Jimmy. Jimmy's teaching. Teaching. Oh, you need to, check this out on that next one. Trey's like, I see what you're saying. Right. And that's kind of where just the experience in the system. So it's one thing to know it. It's a whole nother thing to teach it. And I think that, Trey's getting to that point now. being able to be that scout team quarterback and go against the Niners and learn all these other different playbooks and how schemes attack and watch Jimmy and go through the offense and break it down and understand that foreign language to where you can teach it to the rookie coming in. So Brock Purdy's like, what do I do here? And Trey's like, well, you do this. And he's like, I got it. Right.
So, absolutely.
Oh, hey, I know, Couch. Hey, he's got that voice too. He's got that voice for doing lives, man. I don't know what he's been hiding for, bro. He's coming on here with the golden chops. And so
now, man, it's called Sir Lance, the king of the NFL. Right?
Yeah, NFL.
King of the NFL. Sure. I'm gonna change that around, bro.
We got to, bro, because I'm tired of this NFC Championship stuff, bro. We got to get that sixth. We got to get one for the thumb, bro. We got to move on the other hand.
I was so hurt, man. I was so hurt in that game, man. Because I had, man. So after that Rams game, I was so crushed, bro. And I really thought we were gonna beat them too and go to the Super Bowl. But it's kind of like a catch-22. It was a blessing in a way because because if Jimmy went to the Super Bowl again and just say he just go, winning it is a whole totally different dynamic. But it's like if he goes to a Super Bowl, he has 2 Super Bowl appearances. Do we let Jimmy go? Or do we keep him to the entirety of his contract? Meaning Trey have to sit again. You know what I mean?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. I think he'd have to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I don't think getting there coming up short would have been good enough again. You know what I mean? I think he'd have to win it. But when you look at that game, it was kind of eerily. It made you remember like the Chiefs game. It was just like where we just didn't really have enough from the quarterback play. You know, when you look at Jimmy's last play where he's throwing the ball behind his back underhand for a pick, it was just like, it's like the writing was just on the wall. Yeah. But, if he does go and win a Super Bowl last year, I do think that they're probably going to play out his contract. I think, I would, why not? Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Trey's so young that you can just enable him to learn more and whatnot. Now, I think it would have been a competition. I think they have a competition at every spot. So maybe Trey wins the job. I mean, I wouldn't even put that against it either, especially because Jimmy got the surgery this offseason. So we don't know. But, bro, you want to run through this last series with me here?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Kelt says, I was defeated, then instantly was able to breathe like Jimmy's gone. Right? Blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise, man.
Oh, man, for sure.
And I heard Smitty, too. Smitty was going, he went on a tyrant.
On
that. Yeah, because you know what Smitty is, right?
Yep. I see some of his stuff, right?
Yeah, he went on a tyrant basically saying Trey would have won that game and Jimmy sold the game and stuff. I was like, man, it was just crazy, man, how he went in on them.
Gotcha. We got 12 personnel, little stick concept here, and that's a dangerous pass. So I like what Kyle does. Kyle will go to empty, bro, but he'll do it with 2 tight ends. You know what I mean? You don't see that a lot, right? So that's kind of cool. Hasty goes out. You're gonna have an arrow, and we're gonna have the stick.
Oh, he missed that.
Kyle take off, and he just that. Yeah, he throws it behind him. It's tough. Like that's obviously a poor pass. And we're just calling it what it is. And
but you see that blitzing? What's that blitzing linebacker?
Yeah, he's got to hit this arrow.
Hit that. Yeah,
exactly. As soon as he's getting this heat right here, he's got to throw that arrow. The hard part is this guy's in his vision. So if he throws it right there, it's like he can jump up and bat it down.
I see.
So it's hard from coming from that spot, but he's manned up so much here that you almost have to be willing to take a shot outside. Because if we're leaving. This guy's not going to be able to get to this deep ball here, right? But there's such a blanket on this that he's lucky this didn't get picked. I mean, that ball, that's a tough one. So when teams play man against stick concepts and a man dog like that where they're blitzing, you got a one-on-one on the outside. You got to understand, I got a one-on-one. I can go get that. And so these are just little things. NFL does a great job of disguising coverage, and then they're so much faster. He's going to learn that. So here we have 11 personnel. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say he double clutched too because he wasn't sure what he was seeing. He like, damn, should I do it?
Exactly.
Throw the ball, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, he double clutching.
So they're running inside zone to the weak side of the formation. Looks like he's pressing the hole. He's got a cutback right there. You see that lane? Hit that. Let's see. Get it. Okay. You know, I mean, I'm really critical. Like I was running back coach for a long time as well. And we run a lot of inside zone, and we got to get that one cut and just hit the bubble. You know, there's a
Yeah.
lane right here, right?
Yeah.
Hit that doggone thing, but instead it's like he's running in. He doesn't hit that lane, and now he's running directly into tacklers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's just a little bit of hesitation from Sermon and Hasty that I think that's why they didn't see the field, quite frankly.
TDP, man, that's why we got him, because he's a
Yeah,
downfield
yeah.
runner.
Let's go, right? Yeah, for sure. So I think this is 20 personnel, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a back coming out of the backfield. Like it's hard for me to tell. It gets a little blurry. I think that's Juice up there, or Hokit, whatever that guy's name is. And I think we're running a little angle. Okay, so
Oh, he missed it right there across the middle.
yeah. Now what we got to check is to see where's protection's at, right? Because I remember late in this game it started getting so bad to where
right there,
now
he got it.
yeah, he's got him, but he's because of this pressure, he's got to come up, reset his feet. He's got to step up in that pocket. He does it, but he doesn't throw it because now by the time he's ready to throw it, this guy's there. So he's thinking that guy can jump it or collision him, right? So with the cleaner pocket, I think he sees what you see. He does a good job of recognition and knowing, you know, what routes are going to target what defenses. He knows when this guy clears this backer right here, he's got that, like right there, he's got it. But the problem is he's got pressure. He's got to reset his feet. And so now once he resets, now he sees this guy and he's like, I don't know about that. So I'm going to try to check up, coming to find another one, sack.
Yeah.
But part of that is understanding rush lanes. Part of that is understanding where I can get a clean platform. And, you know, hopefully he gets better protection. You know, I think that, you know,
question on that last play you just went through.
Yes.
Now, couldn't he kind of anticipate that pass? I mean, anticipate that route a little bit. It took some off the arm and kind of let the ball meet the receiver. You see what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
See right here. Let me show you. Keep going. It's like right there. Throw it. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like he, you know, he could have put it in that area, that vicinity, but without throwing it so hard. But just kind of like just take a little bit off of it, but let the receiver meet the ball. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Right.
It's like he sees it, but the arm is not it's not reacting quick enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, see, right here, brother, he's got a clean pocket. He's going to be able to do that. But as soon as this guy clears right here, now he wants to throw it. But what happened to that pocket in a millisecond?
Yeah, it did collapse.
So, I mean, when he's got a pocket like that, he's definitely able to hit that on time. But as soon as he wants to throw it here, now he can't step up and make that throw because he's got a guy clearing this guy. This guy's sideways. You see that?
Oh, so yeah, I see it a little bit.
He's clearing that rush, so he has to step up in this pocket here. So I think he wants to do what you want to do, but see, he's readjusting. He's doing a good job moving up in the pocket. But once he sees him here, I think now he's anticipating this guy because you can see his eyes here in this triangle. And so I think he's anticipating that guy. So he pulls that back. But I agree with you. I think if that pocket remains clean, brother, I think he hits that dig, no problem. Just, you know what I mean?
Man, I can't wait. Oh my goodness, I can't wait, bro.
Right? Oh. I feel you, brother.
I'm about to be on Rumbles. I told Rumble, I said, Rumble, man. I have never called into your show. The reason why I have never called in is because, you know, you be saying some off the wall type of stuff, and I don't want to be getting mad at him while I'm on his stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until Trey Lance actually show you up, and I'm gonna come on to your live. I'm gonna come very respectful, you know what I mean? Very respectful. Okay. But I'm gonna tell him, like, look, y'all was wrong about Trey Lance, man. This young fella out here doing this thing, and Jimmy Garoppolo just not the dude. You know what I'm saying? Take him off your wall. You know?
Ooh, I know. I even said, hey, I'll make you a new background. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, man. So hey, this is a touchdown drive. Let's run through this one pretty quick, if that's cool, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
I got you. So let's see. Let's jump back to first down here. So first down, it looks like we are in. I can't tell if that's 10 or 11. It looks like we got a wire, a fullback right here. So probably 11 personnel. And I like that little screen. Gets it out quick. And nice job dropping the doggone rocket. How many times? Perfect. Remember when we were watching the other breakdowns and people were dropping his balls?
Oh yeah,
just
most
dropping.
definitely.
So it looks like Gallman, I think, or is that Hasty?
That was perfect.
Yeah, it's just the timing's there, the velocity's just right, everything's just right on that play. Good play call. Let's see if the block's clear. We should have this guy coming to hit force. Those are gonna, there's something there. There's at least a 3-yard gain if that's completed. Good as a run play. Niners come out in 11 personnel. Looks like 11 personnel, ace formation, and they're just running spot. Okay,
Nice.
so they're running spot with the slant from the outside. There's a little West Coast concept. I like it. This is a slant and delivered on time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna clear the backer. Just sit. We got a little slant coming on the backside. Did he drop that too? Oh, okay, you better catch that, Sherfield. Let's go.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Right, good timing. Does a nice job on his slants. So that's encouraging because that's obviously a staple in the West Coast.
He has a quick release to me. I don't see how people say his release is slow.
No, I don't know why anybody says that. I don't agree at all. Now, Colin Kaepernick, that was a slow release. That thing was like a windmill, bro. Right? He's like Dominique whenever he's gonna come throw the ball, bro. He's like, But he had such velocity he could kind of get away with it. Yeah. But not really, because it took, again, DBs will jump that as soon as they see that shoulder moving and throwing action. Mm-hmm. Let's run this back. See what we got here. So he gets a first down on a nice slant thrown there on the spacing concept. So we got 11 personnel, Trey to the bottom of the screen, inside zone. I think this is Gallman. Gallman would have been nice to have last year, bro, after the injury to Mostert.
Oh, yeah.
Just the experience, and that's a decent job. A little too much of that, but he did a good job of getting vertical and getting a first down. Sets us up in another first down. Dual formation. Looks like true 10 personnel here. 4 wide receiver set.
The slot.
Oh, let's go.
Nice. That was perfect.
When is the last time we see Jimmy throw a fade like that? So I think this is a switch concept. I think they're running the wheel from the slot here.
Yep, that safety with that. Yep, that's perfect. Mismatch all day.
Yeah, so we got that wheel from the slot, the hitch to hold him. Safety's too far off because he's a post safety, single high. And that ball's just right where it needs to be, bro. I mean, this is where Trey's shoulders and his spongy back foot bode well for him, when you're trying to throw the ball downfield. See that you remember it earlier when we were looking at it. That's spongy. The same footwork that he was using trying to throw the dig. That's the spongy back foot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that, man, his throwing motion is beautiful to me, man.
I agree. I don't. Yeah. Anybody that talks bad about, I really honestly think they're searching. They really don't know what they're talking about in a lot of ways. I hate to say that, but Kelt says, when I was on social, I was reckless. Mine and Marombo's first encounter was heated. Real talk. We followed each other on Twitter and ain't talked since. That's funny, bro. I don't know. That's weird to me because Rombo seems like he's nice to everybody. You know what I mean?
He is cool. I mean, he's cool. He means well, but it's just like, he's just a fanboy of Jimmy, man.
And for sure.
And that's just irritating.
In the window.
That's a whole shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Now, it's an easier whole shot than a cover 2 because they're rocking this guy down. So technically, this guy's a post safety. You can see him going back. Yep. So he's a robber. He's going to rob anything over the middle, and this guy's playing the post. But he did. They're so fast in the NFL; they recover so quick. But what a nice ball! What a nice ball! Perfect what a nice play! When did Jimmy make that throw? Jimmy doesn't throw outside the numbers. Jimmy doesn't do that. But yeah, it's funny. Rombo gets so many different callers and so many different perspectives. You know what I mean? He's just like he's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, he's a little hot on Jimmy. I think honestly he's gonna start loving Trey. He's a fan at heart.
Most definitely, he is.
Oh, they get him to jump. We get a free play. Oh, Trey wanted that free play. So it looks like 11 personnel, motion to trips. We'll call it Trey because that's a Y. And this is the same play. Do you remember the play I just broke down with RG3 in the Redskins. So when you
Yeah.
get inside the red zone, you get man coverage. And so all you're doing is you're running a quick slant on the outside. You're running these guys on double outs, and
Mm-hmm.
it just creates rubs. This guy is supposed to guard this guy, and he's trying to run over the top of these guys, right?
That's like that's
This
perfect.
concept, yeah, this is a concept that man, college used for years, bro.
Great timing too. He hit that. Let's see.
It
He
was a
could have
little late.
faster.
It was
Yeah.
a little late. You're right. You're right. But you know, the ball was fairly on target.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at his, uh,
Bam.
yeah, you know, this is kind of. I mean, he seems to be getting the ball at a time. He kind of double caught it. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
He caught it twice. So I mean, if he catches it the first time, puts his foot in the ground and gets vertical, it might be a
Mm-hmm.
touchdown. But
Absolutely.
he does that double catch. So bink bink, and then gets tackled.
Imagine that's Debo though. Debo taking that to the house.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, for sure. So I like this again. 11 personnel. He motions out to empty. And what do we get? A draw?
Nice
Oh, nice little
touchdown.
spot concept. Okay, so this is simple. Simple stuff. Oh,
The
that's just
window.
choice. That's
Yeah.
just choice right there. That's similar to a Y option, but now you're just giving the slot an option. If he's outside leverage, you turn in. If he's playing you inside leverage, you turn out. And Trey just puts that ball right
Perfect.
on the money. I mean,
Perfect.
you know, I mean, sheesh, what can you do? And you know, he knows he has the ability to do so here because he's seeing this linebacker play to the middle of the field. So I mean, that's a really good job by Trey, just
Oh,
searching.
absolutely.
I mean, that's tough to say anything bad about that. I like this. We're going. It looks like we're going for two here. Um, and that's a fullback or tight end, I believe tight end. So 11 personnel, motion to empty, and
Oh
okay,
shit. Okay.
okay.
Bro,
Yee!
he
Where's
got
where's my
speed,
yee from
bro.
Celts? Celts hit me with that yee, bro.
He got speed, bro. I don't understand when people saying he's slow.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think he's slow. I wouldn't necessarily say he's like, you know, Cam Newton or Steve McNair. You know what I mean? Because those guys were
Right.
just freak runners. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I do see him like a Russell Wilson. I don't think
absolutely.
I don't think he's like slow as Pat Mahomes.
Nah.
I think he's like a Russ Wilson. Maybe even got a little bit more juice than that, right?
Right.
Like you were saying though, it's very difficult to compare him, and I think that's nice. You know what I mean? Because he's
Mm-hmm.
you know he's man, he's really athletic. Cut says Trey is literally the guy I used to make on Madden a decade ago. It's crazy. Isn't that the
Facts.
truth? Isn't that
Make
the
him
truth
big,
though?
strong, and fast, bro.
Yeah, big, strong, fast, can make all the throws. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got it all. So, well, we'll stop there, brother. I really
Oh,
appreciate you jumping online with
oh,
me,
you know,
man. And
and no problem, man. Like I said, man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing that you brought me on. The one thing too, I've been wanting to ask you too, man. And I've been holding it for my last question that I was going to get in.
okay.
I ain't trying, I ain't trying to be 21 question like Chardon or nothing like
Oh
that.
no, I like it, man. I like it. Let's
But,
go. Let's because you
but
know a lot of these, bro. I've been thinking myself, or you make me think. This is what I love about the faithful, bro. Everybody has a lot of
absolutely.
football knowledge, and so yeah, hit me up. Let me know.
Oh, okay. So do you remember? I don't know if you remember or not, but if you can also go on YouTube and look at it because I looked at it a couple of times. Um, Week 17 versus the Broncos, Mahomes' rookie year. I
Mm,
compared his first game to Trey's first game, and Trey looked a lot better. So what do you think Mahomes did in the offseason to make him jump that much to 5,000 yards, passing,
yeah,
50 touchdowns? What do you think he did? Is it more that he just understood the offense, or
yeah, yeah.
just that he worked on the stuff that he just needed to work on? Like, I don't know, because it seemed like it's like he was a different dude. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So I was just
100%.
wondering.
I mean, it's almost like how could you sit that guy behind Alex Smith, right?
Right, right. I don't
but
understand.
the fact he was able to do that, he learned how to prepare. Alex was such a technician that while he didn't make the big wow plays, he oftentimes didn't make a ton of mistakes either. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so for him to see how Alex prepares and to learn the offense, Andy Reid's system, and then to inherit the playmakers he did. I think, this is what you want to do for guys, and then their talent can take over. It's
Okay.
like you want them to learn all the fundamentals, all the foundation, you know what I'm saying? And then let
Mhm.
their talent take over.
Do
It's
you
like
think
how
Trey
many,
had that same jump though?
I do believe he can have that same jump. And I don't
Okay.
think it'll look the same because I think they're different players, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, Mahomes is a really, really elite special arm talent.
Hmm.
Um, and yet Trey has nearly the same arm talent, but better mobility.
There you go.
Um, so I think they have the same, overall potential as great quarterbacks. Allen's in that same
Oh
breath,
yeah.
right? Because they all are mobile, but Trey's different, and so I do think Trey can have that same jump. He's got those weapons around him, like Pat had. Pat had Tyreek and Kelsey and all these weapons, and they were very creative in how they used him and the formations and different things they did. So, as long as Kyle prepares well, right? As long as Kyle prepares a game plan that suits Trey and they can
Hmm.
be on the same page working together, that man, the sky's the limit. I don't see any reason why he couldn't, sky's the limit, bro. I mean,
Absolutely.
literally, what can't he do? I mean, for him to almost beat Arizona in Arizona when they were undefeated, he's got an NFL win under his hat. He's got, he played Seattle tougher than Jimmy did. And so I think he's ready, bro. The Niners are in a good position with a strong defense and overall strong team.
Hmm.
I think Brian Greasy's just the right guy. It doesn't seem like it, but it is because he's that guy that's going to drill those fundamentals, right? It's like get the fundamentals, then let your athleticism take over. How many times we see that Hooper that can dunk all over the place and you think he's going to be amazing, but he can't shoot a jump shot to save his life. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like Harold Miner, right? He's going to be the next Jordan. Well, if he could shoot, if he had the fundamentals, like maybe, but that's really where we're at with Trey. Is I think they just wanted to up his fundamentals, and I think they'll even improve more this year. And bro, I think it's exciting, man. I
It
think it's
is, bro.
exciting,
I
bro.
can't wait, man.
In this, the schedule's stacked, but a lot of those games play out how we like them. Going to Denver in week 3, Sunday Night Football, is a little concerning, but
What's your
I
record
think,
prediction?
man, I have us anywhere from 12-5 to 15-2.
Oh, he
I
ain't
think we could
playing. I
go if
like that.
everything plays out right, bro. I think we go
I like it.
15-2. I
Yes.
still think we might lose that Broncos game, and then maybe we lose to Kansas City
I think Chargers, man. They
or
loaded.
yeah. The one thing about the Chargers though is we get them after the bye, so we
Oh
got
yeah,
2
you
weeks to
rested.
prepare for them.
Absolutely.
So that's
I
like
didn't
that
think
makes me
about
feel
that.
good, right?
I didn't even think about
And we
that.
got them at home.
And
So,
we got them at home.
but we going to Mile High. Russell Wilson always gives us fits. So that game, and then another game. Maybe it's the Chargers, maybe it's the Chiefs, maybe it's Tom Brady and the Bucks, or maybe it's I don't know, man. A lot of people are sleeping on the Raiders. I think they're loaded. They
Yeah,
got
they
a
are
lot of
loaded.
talent, man.
Yeah,
They
they are
got
loaded.
Crosby on one end. They got Chandler Jones on the other, bro. They got Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? They got Jacobs in the backfield. They can be dangerous. So we play the whole AFC West, or maybe we lose to one of like the Rams once, or maybe we lose to Arizona once. I don't know, but I think we at least lose a couple games, maybe up to 5. But man, if we stay healthy, I see us having a very successful year. I think we've gotten better a lot of places. The one question will be O-line, right? You lose
Hmm.
Lakin, who is a stalwart. You're not sure about Mack right now. Not sure about McGlinchey right now. And so while we do have a lot of depth, we have a lot of good draft picks, there's a lot of things to be encouraged about. I'm also a little concerned about continuity, right? About NFL game experience. It's one thing to have talent. It's a whole nother thing to make that talent translate into, effective games. So,
All
um,
right. Most
man, Kel
definitely.
says when the game slows down, you can go fast and explodes like any job at first. And then you get a groove with repetition. It's a wrap. 100%, brother. 100%. That's
Absolutely.
really all that Trey needs is those reps. But yeah, my one concern is O line, bro. And I like our talent. I think they could do really well. But I mean, when you think about going to Denver in week 3 and DJ Jones is ready to eat, because he's
Man.
like, oh, I ain't got to go against Lakin. Oh, Aaron Banks, let's go,
Oh
right?
my
You know,
goodness.
and then they got Randy Gregory, and you're playing an elevation on Sunday Night Football with Russell Wilson. Like, that's a game that even if we lose, I think we'll get a lot better. You know what I mean? It just makes you better to
Absolutely.
play those type of games. But
Absolutely.
Kelt's got a 16-4, but so that's playoffs too, Kelts. So who wins the Super Bowl then, Kelts? Why don't you just
Oh,
put it out there,
16 and
man?
4.
And for mentally spiritually, there you go. For mentally spiritually and physically gifted, it's only a matter of time, no doubt about it. Who you got winning the Lombardi in Arizona? I think it's played in Arizona this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, that's nice. Arizona
16-4. Wouldn't that make the Niners Super Bowl
Super Bowl
champs?
champs. Yeah. No.
That makes I think that makes the
Yeah, it
Niners Super
does.
Bowl
It does.
champs
It
because we
does.
got a bye in the first round, then we win 3.
Yeah, 13 and 4 this season, right? Then
Right.
then 3 games. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Super
Kelsey's
Bowl
thinking
champs.
we're gonna get the
Yeah.
Lombardi. Let's
Man,
go.
I can't wait, bro.
Oh, let's
I cannot
go.
wait.
So good. Well,
Hey,
bro,
bro.
man, thank you so much for joining tonight, man. We're gonna cut this
Yeah,
live, but
most definitely, bro. And like I said, man, it was a blessing, man. Thank you for having me on, man. Sir Lance, the king of the NFL. Let's get it.
yes, sir. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for jumping on. Please jump on anytime and every time, bro. I'll throw them links in there. Loved having you on here, bro. You're a natural. Let's go, man. Every time I go live, bro, jump on, bro. You're a natural. You got the voice. You got the football IQ, and everybody out there, all the Niners people love you. So you've been a blessing to this channel, Niner by Nature, man. And I really appreciate you, bro.
No problem, fam. No problem.
All right, man.
Peace.
Have a great night.
Peace.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much, faithful. Go Niners. God bless you. Have a great night.